Hey there YouTube, it's NHG Nova here from New Heights Gaming. I'm here to present you a Shangri Easter egg. And, okay, so the first step, right back in the main room, right next to Quick Revive, there's 4 things you need to push. You push all of them at the same time, bam, starts the Eclipse. Now, right to my left there on that statue, there is another button. Just looks like the one in the main room. Someone presses that, all these switches pop up. So, and as you can see, these switches have signs on them. Well, they're not switches, they're more like stones. But they have, you know, symbols, signs on them and everything. And the trick about these is, so, someone on this side, by the minecart, steps on theirs. They call out what symbol it is, and the person over on the complete other side of the map, over by the mud pit temple, where there are other stones, they will try and find that exact one. They'll try to find the same symbol, same sign, whatever. But the tricky part about this is, if one person's on the one by the minecart and one person's over on the one by the mud pit, and they're the wrong ones, like they're not the same, they're going to completely reset. All the ones that you matched are going to go away. So, very tricky. You're going to have to watch out for that. Make sure you're not on the same, make sure one of your teammates aren't on one, and honestly a good idea is to have your other 2 teammates distract the crawler in the main room or something. But, so all the signs, they're pretty simple. I mean, there's nothing too complicated. But, there's 12 of them, I believe. All 12 are, on this side, are by the minecart. There's some down here over by Speed Cola, or Juggernaut, depending on what's your luck, I guess. And then there's some up directly next to the minecart. Now, obviously you'll see all of those, but over by the mud pit. So, directly outside the mud pit, not the water slide way, but the other way, where you go straight. There's about 3 of them, I believe. And then you go across the bridge, there's, I believe, 9 of them. Over there it's pretty clustered, so you gotta make sure you're not on them if you're the one calling them out over there. And over here by minecart are the ones, you know, finding the ones you call out. So be very careful about it, but it's pretty simple once you do it once or twice. It just takes some time, so be patient. As you can see, I mean, I've probably got about 7 of them done so far. Not too many, but it just takes some time. Sometimes you get lucky and it takes 2 minutes. Sometimes you get unlucky, it takes 4. But it's a pretty simple step. It's one of the simpler ones. So this Easter egg, I believe, has around 13 steps. This is, I believe, step 3 is what you can consider it. Step 1's activating the Eclipse, and over by the Quick Revive room, you press all 4 of the, I don't even know what to call them, switches, I guess, all at the same time. And then, next step is over down by Speed Cola or Juggernaut, whichever one's over on the minecart area. There's like this weird statue type thing. And there's that same button from the Quick Revive room is now there. Now, as you can see, we just matched them all. I believe, yes we did. Now, if you can see, there's a focusing crystal up there, but cut out. Okay. So, as you can see, right where everyone's standing right there is this pressure plate thing. 3 people need to stand there, then someone goes down the water slide, holding X, and bam, you got the next step done. That's simple. Must be in Eclipse mode though, so activate the Eclipse before you do this step. And there it's done now. Alright, so now the next step, you all need to go back to the main room and activate the Eclipse again, of course. And for this one, all you need to do is go over to the waterfall. Now, when you go over to the waterfall, there will be an animation where one of the focusing crystals, it flies into the cliff right next to the water slide. And as you can see, we had some trouble all pressing it at the same time because of the zombie coming across. But, so we got it right that. So, right over here, you see the focusing crystal just ram right next to the waterfall. And, see, right there. Now it's up there. So, the only way you can really get it down that I've noticed is throwing a grenade at it and having it blow up. So I'm just letting them see it. This was our first time trying it. We also had some clips from the second time trying it because they look better. But we were able to do it both times pretty easily. So you throw a grenade at it, falls down. For this step, you do need the 3179 JGB or whatever the hell it is. You know, the baby gun. So one person shoots it, just like that, whoever has it, and then you knife it to move it. Now it's going to flow down the water slide, and then it's going to go and it's going to land on another one of those rods. And I believe there's about 6 of them that you end up doing throughout the whole Easter egg. So that lands right there. Alright, so the next step is this napalm zombie step. And see that wheel right there? You gotta turn it 4 times by pressing the X button. But for this step, you need a napalm zombie. And to my right, there is this pipe that bursts, and you have to have the napalm zombie run up across it and set it on fire. Now, the pipes only burst out stuff whenever you turn the wheel, but right there, that one, you need to light that one as well. And you need to light the one over the mystery box. Then you need to light the one right there. That one's right as you enter into the power room. Sorry about that. But once you light all 3 of those, then you need to go back to where the wheel was, and there's a lever right next to the wheel, and you have to activate that lever pressing the X button again. And they must be done in the same Eclipse. So that's just a heads up if it takes you a while. But yes, you do need the napalm zombie for it, otherwise it won't work. And so, bam, completed step. Now, I'm over by the MP5K, across the bridge. Now, there's these holes in the wall right over here. You need to fill all of them up using spike mores. And a trick that we use, keep your old napalm zombie so that napalm zombie can walk through them and get them all done. And yes, this needs to be done in Eclipse mode. Every single step needs to be done in Eclipse mode. Just a heads up. They will not work if you're not in Eclipse mode. Now there's 4 holes. You will see them all whenever I run across them, obviously. But there's one right there, one right here, then there's 2 over by, actually, the waterfall. Right there to my left, and right there. So, we had a napalm zombie. It's about to come in through here and light all of them off. Now, it's not a guaranteed hit that they'll all get, like, clogged. But, I mean, there's a very good chance of it. We got lucky this time, and they all worked. So, we didn't need to do it a second time. But, you know, it's not guaranteed that's going to happen. So, pretty much, we run out of here, napalm zombie came, and as you can see, they're all clogged. So now I run down over here to the waterfall. And you may have noticed this already, but there's a brick sticking out right over here that says, don't hold X. What I want you to do is, hold X. Bam, step is done. Okay, so now this is the hardest step. So you gotta be in Eclipse mode. Now there's gonna be all these panels on the walls. You gotta knife them. There's 12 of them. They're all the same symbols from, you know, step 3 or step 2, whichever one you want to call it. Now, there's 5 of them here in the main room. I'm gonna go through all of them, actually. And there's... So, just, if you need to look at the video constantly to find them all, understandable, because they're hard to all remember. Now, there's also a snare right over here that you have to blow up. Now, if you don't blow it up, you won't finish the step. And it doesn't matter when you blow up, you can blow it up at any time. So, there's 2 over there by the minecart, 5 in the main room, and then I believe there's only 2 here at the Mud Pit Temple. And there's one right here, on this side, and then there's one on the other side. I believe I forget that one, and that's like the last one I do, though. So then you go down here, and you go to the room where the stakeout is. Now, there is 2 in that room. And I'm not gonna lie, this step took us a while. It's a hard step. I would easily call this the hardest one that you have to do in the whole Easter egg. So once you get this one under your belt, I think the Easter egg's pretty easy. So there's another one on the way to the power room, and then there's one in the power room, which is right next to where you activate the power or the water, whichever one you want to say. And so right now I'm like, Oh, I should have them all done, shouldn't I? Oh wait, I forgot the one over by the Mud Pit Temple. I just realized that. But, so, I go run up there and finish this. And you can, by the way, you can kill the snare whenever you want. So, I always do it whenever I just get over there. I find it the most simple way to do it. And that's what I would suggest you doing so you don't forget it. But, the first time we did this, got them all. Then I forgot to kill the snare. I kind of laughed about it eventually, but I was kind of pissed at the point that I didn't do that. But so, there's the last one. Now, there's going to be a focusing crystal right above the Mud Pit Temple, and bam, we're done with this step. Now, the next step is not too hard. Okay, so, I know you know about the circle dial things in the Mud Pit Temple. Now, you're going to need to turn all of those, and I'll show you what to turn them to. But it's going to end up being, one's going to be 16, one's going to be 4, 3, and 2, I believe. And that's all in mine numbers. If I'm not mistaken, that's what they are. But, you know, I guess I'm not really sure. But, I am just standing here. Not sure why. But now, we activate the Eclipse, and just a reminder, again, I know I already said this, but the Eclipse has to be on for every single step except for one, and that's the step where you grab the focusing crystal. So just remember that. So this one goes to 4. So just press X on it until it's at the 4 number, and this one I believe goes to 3. Yep, it does. So keep turning it till it gets to 3. Then this one goes to the CL dot. Make sure you're at the CL dot on that one. Then this one gets to 1, I believe. Yep. So this one's at 1, and bam, you got the step done. That's simple. And that's when the focusing crystal goes up there. Now, this step's kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. You have to activate the gongs. So there is 7 gongs on the map. And only 4 of them are correct. So when I knife this one, all the focusing crystals go red, which are indicating that it's the wrong gong. So I go to the next one, you know, I find out the same exact thing. So I know that there's less choices now, and I don't have to go back now. And then there's this one, which is also wrong. So this is kind of nice. I get to show you guys all the gongs. But here's the trick with the gongs. So if you find one right one, and then you activate a bad one, it cancels out the right one, and you have to go redo it completely. But if I'm not mistaken, the gongs do not change. So there's not too much to worry about. So I find another right gong right there, and then the one right there is also correct, and then the one right over here is correct. Now once you hit them all, they're going to glow the Treyarch symbol. And for this step right here, you don't need the upgraded baby gun, but for the step, well, I guess it's a different step. But right after this, you're going to need it. So you fire it right on this one, and once it bounces back and hits it, there's some TNT. No matter who gets the TNT, it really doesn't matter, but I would get it if I were you. It's just like, if you have the baby gun, you might as well just get it. Now, above the Mud Pit Temple, there's that focusing crystal. Now, this one, you need the upgraded baby gun, and you're going to shoot it. Now, this is going to shrink the gigantic meteorite, and it's going to bring it into the Pack-a-Punch room. And that's going to end up being the focusing crystal that you're going to grab and get all 7 perks with. So, now, for the next step, we all have to go activate Pack-a-Punch, which we just did. Now, you come up here, and you talk to Brock, I believe. Yes, his name's the same as Pokemon Trainer. But then, you gotta activate the TNT, so you just hold X on this wall, and you're done with that step. And then the water will flush you down, it'll blow up. Now for the step, you don't need to be in the Eclipse mode, only step. So, now that the TNT has worked, you go activate the Pack-a-Punch again, so you can get back up there, claim your focusing crystal. As you can see, it's normal day, and as you can see, there's a focusing crystal. Bam! 7 perks, Easter egg done. Thank you guys for watching, I'll see you next video.